We're here at Nottingham Campground here in Mount Hood National Forest, Oregon. We're here at spot 15, Nottingham Campground, Mount Hood National Forest. This is a big one. Right away, I see that flat area underneath these trees. I assume that's where you want to put your tent. And you got your picnic table. A lot of good places to sit. This is a pretty gigantic site. And, oh yes, look at the access to East Fork Hood River. This is a shoreline site. There's your fire pit. Imagine sitting here, looking down to your fire pit and enjoying some hot cocoa and marshmallows as you sit next to this beautiful river. This is epic. I can't get over how big this area is. I mean, this is gigantic. A lot of good places to sit. This would be great for a group. They said there's a flat area. Here's your picnic table. So huge draw is being right next to Hood River here. This is epic. And the forest canopy is pretty good as far as like shade for summer. I was gonna say the only downside is you do kind of have these two sites right next to you. So here's where you want to put your picnic table. I'm sorry, you're probably not gonna bring your own picnic table. This is where you're gonna put your own tent. So look at that. That is pretty epic. This is a magical campground. I gotta say, it's my first time. I almost feel silly that I had completely overlooked Nottingham Campground on the east side of Mount Hood. Recently discovered it, wanted to come out and take a look, and I am not disappointed. Most of the campsites on the west side of Hood get the draw, like Clear Lake and Trillium. I think because they're closer to Portland metropolitan area. But if you're willing to just drive a few more minutes, whatever it is, another 20, 30 minutes most, come around here to the east side, I think you're gonna get a much better experience. Well worth the extra drive. Come over here and be shoreline of the East Fork Hood River. I think this is candidly way more epic than some of the ones on the west side. The west side, you're not really on the shoreline in a lot of cases, and it has that, what I call Walmart parking lotification effect. Very paved. You kind of feel like you're just sitting in the dirt and with a bunch of other people. This kind of has that wilderness vibe where you feel like it's kind of that faux wild camping where you are absolutely in a safe developed area and you have amenities, but it feels like you're out in the wilderness. Kind of the best of both worlds. The feeling of Davy Crockett in the Wild Frontier, but in a safe, sanitized design. I think a lot of people like that sweet spot. So I would definitely come to Nottingham Campground. I'm starting to think this might be the very best campground in the entire Mount Hood National Forest area. Pretty darn epic. Campsite 16, Nottingham Campground, Mount Hood National Forest. And look at this. This is right on the river, right on East Fork Hood River. You got your picnic table, you got your fire pit. So if you're looking for premium river access, look at that. Oh my gosh, that is stunning. If you're looking for premium river shoreline access, spot 16 is great. Probably the downside is you have, I'm guessing, site 17 right next to you, like right in the business. Great if you're doing both of them, like a two-party situation, book both of them. You also have 15 right behind you, right in front of you. So you're kind of fishbowled between 15 and 17. So the privacy is not great, candidly, but you do get this shoreline access to the beautiful East Fork Hood River. Look at that view. It's pretty darn epic. Campsite number 17 here at Nottingham Campground, Mount Hood National Forest, Oregon. Here's your picnic table and your fire pit, clearly where you park. There's another picnic table over there. That looks like another site. So privacy is not great. You got a site right there and you got a site right here. So you're right between 16 and 18. But now let's shift to the positive. You may have noticed we are right on the shoreline of East Fork Hood River. Pretty spectacular, and you even have your own little slight decline. This is very easy and safe to do to the river. And we'll come down here a little bit. Look at this. This is awesome. And let's look upstream a little bit. Oh my gosh. So yeah, you've got premium access to this incredible river, which is pretty darn epic. But you trade your privacy with 2 sites right next to you. You're kind of tucked in here and kind of crammed in here, I should say. So privacy, not good. Shoreline access, incredible. If you could get a group together and book several sites as like a big group thing, then this is, I think, one of the most premium places you can camp in the entire Mount Hood National Forest area. To imagine if you locked all these in with your friends with a big group or whatever the case may be, then you'd just be in forest, river, shoreline heaven. Absolutely magic. Campsite number 18, Nottingham Campground, Mount Hood National Forest, Oregon. So this one, my friend, is a bit of a tragedy because it is absolutely gorgeous shoreline, East Fork Hood River access. But for me, the privacy lines are a killer. Like, look at this, at 17 to 16, kind of right up in your business. As if that wasn't even bad enough, you got 19 right there too. So you're completely fishbowled. Now, granted, that's the negative. Here's a fire pit, and here is gorgeous East Fork Hood River. So look at this, your own private access to a river, and just come over here and get a general shot. This is kind of the access shared with 17. So the river is absolute magic. I mean, this is world class. All these campsites right next to a river. So I realize I'm being very granular and picky, but obviously we're here looking for the best location, real estate mentality. I like 19 over there better because at least it's on the end of this line. I would say if you can grab like 18, 17, 16, even 15 down there, if you can get a group thing, then you are going to be in a magic alignment. This is world class, maybe one of the best group situations you can get. The entire Mount Hood National Forest area of all the campgrounds, which is a large swath of forest. We're here at campsite 19, Nottingham Campground, Mount Hood National Forest, Oregon. So this is an interesting one. Really good things and a couple negative. So start with the negative. Privacy-wise, you're on the end of a row because these are all shoreline of East Fork Hood River, which is in the positive category. You can see 18, 17, 16. So if you're one party, like a family or a couple, that's a ding against it. So now let's get to the positive. So you got your picnic table, your fire pit. This is kind of your private play area if you've got kids. Kind of a fun little adventure area for them. Some beautiful trees, good canopy, also good with the shade for summer if you're here July, August. So again, here's your privacy lines, not great. Now if you get a group situation where you're going to get multiple sites, that's heaven. So here though is the piece de resistance. This is what makes this site special. Might be worth the trade-off of the privacy ding. Come down here, you got your own private shoreline access to the beautiful East Fork Hood River. Look at this. So, got this confluence, 2 arms coming around the rock there in the middle, and it just goes moseys right by your site. This area it normally would be more accessible. It's November 27, 2027, so it's icy and snowy. So this would be a little bit more of a fun play area for you. So you've got this private access to your own shoreline. That's a gigantic plus in the plus column. You are on the end of this section, so you're only exposed on one side. And in fact, the other side is this cool kind of covered tree forest play area, particularly good for kids or if you just need some shade or respite in the middle of the day. So those are 2 pluses. You got the negative of people right there. So I like this one, 19, better than 18, 17, or 16 because they're all fishbowled right in the middle of this row. Again, if you can book several as a big group, that would be heaven.